Samira bit her lip, trying to suppress a smile. But she couldn't. That mischievous glint in the corner of her eyes was unmistakable. Nothing, ma'am. Ira looked at her suspiciously. This nothing of yours is the most dangerous thing. Samira put on a completely innocent face and said, "Oh, really? I was just thinking." Thinking what? Samira leaned in a little. Very softly, she whispered, "You said it yourself, that you'd sleep in my room." Ira paused for a second. Then, she immediately countered, "I didn't mean it that way." Samira burst out laughing. "But it definitely sounded like that, ma'am." Ira narrowed her eyes. "Why do you always find a different meaning in everything?" Samira shook her head with a deadpan expression. "Because you never say anything directly." Ira felt a bit flustered now. "Samira." Okay. Samira raised both hands in a gesture of surrender. "I won't say another word. I'll be a very good girl." Ira asked in a cold tone, "You? A good girl?" Samira placed a hand over her heart dramatically. "That is an insult, ma'am." An involuntary smile flickered at the corner of Ira's lips. Samira caught it instantly. "There it is, you're smiling." Ira quickly turned her face away. "No. I saw it." "You see too much." Samira slowly moved closer. This time, her voice was softer. "I only see you." For a moment, the world around them went silent. Ira looked up. This time, there was no mischief in Samira's eyes, only a deep, heavy longing. But in the next second, Samira laughed again, returning to her usual self. "All right, let's go, ma'am, otherwise you'll change your mind again." Ira raised an eyebrow. "Am I that unpredictable?" Walking toward the door, Samira replied, "You?" "Very." Then she looked back and winked. "But you're very predictable about one thing." "What?" "In the end, you always stay with me." Ira fell silent. "And Samira?" She walked ahead with a confident stride. Samira entered her room, but Ira stopped right at the doorstep. She stood there, completely still. After a few seconds, Samira turned around and smiled playfully. "What happened? Why are you standing there?" Ira spoke softly, I'm coming." Samira leaned against the doorframe, that familiar smirk on her lips. "Are you coming in, or should we start right here?" Ira frowned immediately. "Start what?" Samira paused for a second and then laughed. "No, I meant. Are you going to start sleeping right there?" Ira narrowed her eyes. "You say these things on purpose, don't you?" Samira shook her head innocently. "Me? Not at all, ma'am." Then she stepped closer to the door. "Come in, or are you afraid?" Ira felt a bit annoyed. "What is there to be afraid of in your room?" Samira bit her lip and smiled. "Only you know that." At those words, Ira's cheeks flushed a light pink. She quickly looked away and stepped into the room. Seeing this, Samira whispered to herself with a chuckle, "So, you do blush." Ira turned around instantly. "Samira." Okay. I didn't say anything." Samira raised her hands. Then, she gently closed the door. Click. As the bolt slid home, the silence in the room changed. Ira felt it. And Samira? She stood leaning against the door, just watching Ira. Silently. No more laughter now. Just that deep, tender gaze. Ira spoke softly, "Why are you looking at me like that?" Samira replied in a low voice, "I'm not just looking, I'm admiring you. Do you have any idea how beautiful you look in this light?" Step by step, Samira walked toward Ira. Ira felt her breath hitch. Samira didn't stop until she was standing right in front of her. Slowly, Samira took Ira's hand in hers. Her touch was warm, grounding. The room felt different now. Quieter. Safer. Ira, Samira whispered, using her name for the first time tonight. Stay with me. Ira didn't answer with words. She just held Samira's hand a little tighter. In that moment, everything that needed to be fade to black. The next morning, a thin ray of sunlight pierced through the curtains and fell on Ira's face. The chirping of birds slowly woke her. As she opened her eyes, the memories of last night came back. Her cheeks flushed red with shyness once more. Turning to her side, she saw Samira still fast asleep. A few stray locks of hair were plastered to her forehead. Seeing how peaceful Samira looked in her sleep, Ira gazed at her in fascination. The confident, teasing Samira from last night was now sleeping like a child. Ira tried to get out of bed carefully, fearing she might wake her. But as soon as she moved, Samira wrapped her arm around Ira's waist in her sleep and pulled her closer. With half-closed eyes, Samira gave a small smile, that signature mischievous one. Why the early morning escape attempt, ma'am? Samira's voice was heavy and low with morning huskiness. Ira, feeling a bit flustered, said, Let go, Samira, it's late. Someone might see us. Samira opened her eyes fully and looked at Ira. Her eyes were still filled with warmth. She tucked a stray lock of hair behind Ira's ear and whispered, There's no one in this room but us. And this morning belongs only to us. Can we stay like this a little longer? Ira couldn't protest. Resting her head against Samira's shoulder, she began to feel the tranquility of the morning. The tension of last night had transformed into a beautiful peace this morning. There were no words between them, only a comfortable silence. After a while, Samira leaned in and whispered, Good morning, my ma'am. Ira smiled softly with her eyes closed. The tenderness in Samira's voice seemed to blend with the morning air. She said very softly, Good morning. Samira raised an eyebrow. Just good morning? Ira opened her eyes. What else should I say? Samira smirked and moved even closer. You could say a lot of things. Ira said with a light scolding tone, Don't start again first thing in the morning. Samira laughed. Do you know,